How are you? Um, I guess it's been a little over 1 week, and you know, I want to talk about daring to try, daring to try, and I want to talk about it in relation to myself. You know, someone asked me, not someone, a few people. Let me say about two people, yeah, two people. Two people asked me if I really had to cook pastries, and yet supposedly about to graduate with my doctorate, God willing. Um, and that question, when asked by people, it I don't really feel bad when it's asked, but it gives me great moments of reflection, and it makes me want to even talk more and motivate people more. Okay, so I wanted to share about daring to try, and how I think I've dared so many times to do things unconventionally, things that maybe other people would not have done if they found themselves in my shoes. But then those times that I've done those things that I have done have actually caused the opening of doors of other things that I really wanted. Okay. So firstly, of course, there's the American dream. American dream. When many times I was in Kenya. Before I first came to the US, I did not know that I would ever come to the US. By the way, I don't know if I've shared that story of how I first came on a Fulbright scholarship, and one of my professors had recommended me, had given my name to the US Embassy to be contacted for a Fulbright program. And so when I received an email asking me if I would like to participate, to come to the US, I was very, very annoyed, because I thought these were people who were trying to fish, fishing people, and all these Nigerian prints and all these things that we normally get on email. And so I replied. I did not ignore it, but I replied and I said, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. And I know you're trying to get money from me. I don't have money. I don't have very long email. But then the embassy guys were very gracious. They were very gracious. They wrote back. They actually wrote back to me. And they told me, hey, Diana, we are not trying to fish. We are not trying to talk about a program that is non-existent. And we've received your contacts from this professor who has taught you. And so when I saw that name on email, now I got to understand that, oh yeah, this is real. So I did reply them, and I told them, okay, fine, I think I'll take part. And that's when the whole interviewing process began. There was a number of people. I interviewed with them, and I excelled. I passed, and so that's 2009. I'm coming to the US for the first time. Okay, so it was an easy ride. It was really nice, because all my fare tickets were paid for, my stay in the US was paid for, several trips in the US were paid for. And so that's done. I go back to Kenya, then I come back now for my master's. Okay, but I'm coming back for my master's when now it's not an easy ride as it was before. So the first time I come for Fulbright, I'm in North Carolina. Yeah, I'm in North Carolina. And the second time I'm coming, I'm going to Nebraska. Okay, so I'm going to Nebraska, and I don't have scholarship. Unlike the first time, I don't have scholarship this time around, and I'm daring to start. Okay, and I really thank God for having a mom who supports and who has always supported my dares. When a number of people or several people don't see sense in what I do sometimes, my mom will see sense. And I think that's with all mothers. Whether their child is going to jump into a ditch, you convince and they'll be like, okay, fine, jump. Maybe you're saying the truth. Man, I don't want to be like that to my daughters. I don't want to be convinced with everything. When it's wrong, it is wrong. When I say no, it is no. Anyway, aside from the point. So I dare to start. I dare to start, and I say to myself, if I stay back home, okay, I don't see myself advancing my education. And at that point, I had applied for a lot of scholarships, but I did not get any. I had interviewed with several officers in Nebraska on virtually, but I was not getting anything. So I just said to myself that, you know what, I am going to go. I just need to get an air ticket, and even my air ticket, my uncle, God bless his heart, Uncle Thaddeus, he raised an amount for me. He gave me my auntie in Kisumu, Auntie Grace, several aunties, Auntie Margaret, and my mom, the church. Guys raised money literally for my ticket, and then that's why we normally say it takes a village. When you've come and when you've grown and you've succeeded, always remember where you've come from. Remember your roots. Anyway, so my ticket was raised, and I come to the US. And that time, I'd already known my husband. I knew him when I was in North Carolina. So he meets me at the airport in New York, I think. When he met me, he could give me something. He gave me a phone, which was at least good support. He gave me a phone, and then he gave me corn flour, the corn for our ugali. That's very special. He had to give me that. So he gave me that for ugali, and I think those are the stuff that he gave me, because we weren't sure I was going to get flour to cook ugali when I go to Nebraska. And so I go to Nebraska, and at that point I don't have tuition, I don't have any money, I don't have fees, I only had the air ticket. Okay, but I'm daring to start. It is the starting. And you see, I read about is it Eliot? Is someone who said that the daring to start is the most important part. The rest are none of our business. It's only daring, that dare to start is the most important part. The rest are none of your business, none of our business. Okay, so I dare to start. I come to Nebraska, and I make my inroads to meet a few Africans, a few Kenyans, and then I get this great guy who offered to host me. Of course, we had to ask for permission from his fiancée who was in Kenya, and he hosted me for some time. And when he did, when that was happening, that was, I think, the first 2 to 3 months of my stay in Nebraska. I continued to dare. And this is where now the story about the questions being asked to me, Diana, do you have to cook? Do you have to cook pastries to survive in the US? That is so funny. People who ask that really don't know the things that I have done. In fact, cooking pastries is the best thing that I had, and I'm not even going to stop. These pastries are going to be eaten even by the President of the United States. But anyway, I will tell you other things that I've done. So I come in, and after some I think a month or something, I had to find my own place, my own place to live. So I started working. I started working two jobs at the university. So the first job was, I used to work in the dining hall. So I used to be in the room where the plates were clean. So you feed them into the conveyor belt, and then they go and get washed, and then you go bring them out. And let me tell you, man, bringing them out was so hard because they come out very hot. So that's one that I would do. And then, of course, I've told you, cleaning the tables also, and then bringing out the food and arranging them in the daily area and all that. And so that's the first one that I did. And then the other one I did over the weekend was, I used to to clean the bathrooms, the bathrooms in the ladies' halls. And that's on Saturdays. I used to do that on Saturdays. We were a group of about three to five ladies. So we could clean so many bathrooms, so many toilets. And the first time I could even vomit, but then I came and I got used to it. And I'm telling you, daring to start. It is not about can you do it or can you achieve your dreams. It is about, can you dare to start? The start may be painful. The start may be difficult, but your start does not determine how you end it. Okay? How you start it does not determine how you end it. How you start it is the route to how you end it, but it does not determine how you end it. What I mean is, I did not have to finish school in Nebraska waiting the table or cleaning the toilet. No. But it is that start of me doing that helped me to stay in school. Because it is the little I could get from that helped me to pay for my first apartment. And I managed to move out, go to my apartment, as I still waited to see how life was going to be and how I was going to get the tuition. And so getting my own place at least helped to motivate me to stay in school. So I did not have to throw in the towel and say, you know what, this is done, I'm going back to Kenya. And let me tell you what happened. 2 months down the line, I interviewed with some very great bosses. And I get a job as a graduate assistant. Dare to start. If I got there with the mentality of it has to be an assistantship, it has to be this or that, I would not have opted to do what I did to stay in school. But because I knew these other ones were not yet coming, then let me dare to start off from somewhere. And those other ones will find me on the way. And they did. The assistantship paid all my tuition. In fact, it's good for me to say this. Some people will say, someone paid that fee. So no, look. The assistantship paid my tuition. And I think it all happened because God saw and continued to see how determined I was and how ready I was to take up something else that I believe would lead me to the goal that I wanted to achieve. So that's fast. So I finished school, I graduated, it was beautiful, and I'm done. And then I go back. Of course, I work in the US for, I think, a year, and then I go back to Kenya. And once I'm in Kenya, I stay for about almost 3 years. Then I come back. So when I come back, I'm coming back as still as a visitor. Yeah, I was coming back as a visitor. I hadn't gotten my permanent residency yet. So I come back with my Candy, who was unwell. So we are coming to seek for second opinions from the doctors here. And when I'm here, we decide, you know what, why not just apply for the permanent residency, And so we decide, okay, fine, let's do this. And so we do that. And in the course of doing that, we realized that, this was going to take a long time. And so I decided, okay, let me apply for school and begin my doctorate, begin my studies. And in my heart, I was hopeful that I would get a job before the beginning of classes, so that I was going to be able to pay my own tuition. And then that did not get to happen. Dare to begin. Dare to start. And so we are getting into, I think that was 2018, because I came 2016, 17, I was applying, and then 18 January, spring, is when we were starting school. So the first day of classes come and I don't have tuition. I don't have a job yet. So what happens? Do I give up? Do I drop off? Do I defer? No, I did not do any of those. I did not do any of those. In fact, what I opted for was a job that could come quick, because all of the ones I was applying for, I was not getting them. I was not getting them. And I know this happens in the lives of so many of us, so many people. You're trying to get a job, you're trying to get something, but it's not coming. It's not working. Look, don't give up. Dare to begin. Dare to start. You can leave that for a short time and find out something else that will help keep you engaged and will help to route you on a different route towards that which you really want to achieve. And that's what I believe. That's what I believe. And what did I do then? I went and I got myself a job taking care of people living with what do you call it? Mental disabilities, right? Yeah. So I took care of them, and it was humbling. It was quite a humbling experience. And I am very grateful to God for that experience. I'm very grateful to God for that experience. Because those are things that before I did them, I saw life differently, or from different lenses, different from the lenses I see life through after that experience. Because these were adults, I could bath them, I could change their diapers, I could feed them, I could give them their medications, I could take them to the toilet. A lot of things that the first time, again, I vomited. I did vomit, but then I got used to it. There to begin, there to start. It is that money that I got that helped me to pay in installments for me to stay in school. And then guess what? When I thought that now I've reached rock bottom, because that work was so overwhelming, I could work in the night, I come back, I need to sleep, I can't even study, so I'm fearing I'm going to fail. And so I said, you know what? I have already tried. It's better for someone to say, look, I tried, than I did not even try. I did not even dare to try or dare to start or dare to begin. And so when it reached that point where I was throwing in the towel, I get information that I have received a scholarship from my department. And from that time to this moment that I'm talking to you, the scholarship paid, and continue to pay, and to help me to pay for tuition. Dare to begin. Dare to start. If one side is not working, consider another side. If I could not get a job through interviewing and at a college somewhere, then all I needed was to turn and get whatever job that could come that could help me with finances to keep me in school. Okay, so dare to start. And so we get to this moment where I am selling very, very delicious pastries, chapatis, mandazis, and when the two people asked me, do you really have to do this? You're graduating soon, and maybe you can consider looking for a job at a college, at a university. That's where I stopped them. I told them, I've always looked for that. I've always looked for that. But when it's not coming, do I sit down? Will it come knocking my door? It won't come knocking my door. It won't come knocking my door if it's not working. I have to find the ones or the things that work. And that's when I came to even remember. I came to remember, maybe I know why it's not working. But I remembered at a place where I worked before, colleagues used to complain that I don't smile, I have a strict face, I'm scary. I'm scary. And I was told this even during my interview practice. I had a mock interview, and the lady that was helping me with that told me, hey, when you go for an interview, just try to smile so that you appear so friendly. And that's something that was so hard for me. I don't like being fake. I don't like being fake. And whatever I'm doing right now, to me, it has made me so happy. It has made me so happy because the food that I cook, the pastries that I make, they don't need me to smile. They don't need me to smile. They don't need me to notice them all the time. I am myself. I am myself. I'm not pretending to be something I'm not when I'm cooking my pastries. And it is all about daring to start, because to me, I think the cooking has been so much therapy to me, so much therapy. And many people don't understand sometimes, oh, Diana is already up in the morning very early. It is that desire to do what I do and do it to the best level that I can that keeps me going. And just knowing that I'm not in a space where I am being forced to smile, or I am forcing myself to belong. I am in a very open space that belongs to me, and the joy in my heart whenever I read texts from customers telling me the food they got from me was so nice and they will order again. And the fact that it is tied to philanthropy, where I get to feed cancer patients in Kenya, that is so much fulfillment compared to a white-collar job in an office, the one that I've been waiting for and is not coming. Okay, so yeah, this time when I'm daring to dream and daring to start, I come to realize, hey, this is giving me even more joy. This is giving me total happiness. And things that I ignored, I can see them clearly, because now the little kids, I can be home to take care of them. And there is COVID, and the kids that have already shown that the respiratory, they don't like these illnesses like pneumonia, bronchitis, and all that. So it's just good for them to stay home and not go to daycare. See, my dare to dream is allowing me to stay home with these children and to take care of them and to enjoy motherhood. And again, this staying home and opportunity is allowing me to continue to heal, because, from my own cancer treatment, my white blood cells have not yet come to the level where they're supposed to be. And so this job that someone is asking, do I have to do it, is giving me that chance to stay home and completely heal. Okay? And then something else is, I have a very expensive lifestyle right now. The food that I eat, a lot of it organic, those are expensive. Again, the daring to start, daring to breathe, to begin, it's allowing me to maintain that lifestyle, because I can get my own, I can get my own sustenance, my own financial freedom, my own standing from this job that is considered little that I am doing right now. And can you imagine the other times that I could work? I had I had a salary coming in. It was so hard for me even to share or to do charity work. But this time, as I'm daring to start and daring to begin, I am receiving enough that I am actually giving to the initiative in Kenya for feeding cancer patients. So you can imagine how it is good to dare to start. So I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you. If you want to start something, if you want to do something, and that something is not working, don't waste hours or months on that same thing, yet you're not seeing it working. Try another route. Try another route. You know, an arrival point will have so many routes of how people get to that point. So if this one route is not working, consider other routes. Consider other routes. Okay? That's kombucha. Kombucha? I drink kombucha every once in a while at night. You know, it's a tea. It's a mix of, I think, green tea and some, not green tea. Kombucha is a mix of what? Yeah, I think green tea and some stuff. And then there's another drink I take during the day. It's a mixture of, is it chamomile or chamomile? Whatever it is, that one, a mixture of that and chamomile and what? And ginger, yeah? Ginger tea and chamomile tea put together. So that's the other one that I drink during the day. And they're really helping my tummy. They're really helping me. All right, so that is what I wanted to share. I just wanted to share so that I encourage someone somewhere that it doesn't matter how you began. It doesn't matter how you began, but for sure, your only option should be how you begin and when you begin. It should not be, just, I can't make it, things are not working. No. There are certain things that you can do. You just need a push. You just need a push. So for me, the push here are my kids. And a future where I would say I'm really not sure of that future. But the daring to start and the cooking of mandazi and chapati have really, really, really encouraged me. They've really encouraged me. So I hope that communicated something to somewhere about something to someone about daring to start. Remember, the wise said, daring to start is the most important thing. The rest is none of our business. Just the daring to start. You will fail so many times sometimes. Some people don't fail, some people fail. But if you fail, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You just pick yourself up, dust yourself, and continue. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share today. I wish you guys a great time. Please subscribe if you haven't. Share, like, and I'll see you soon. God bless you. Bye.